Okay, let's start the video. And last night nobody hit that big jackpot, so it's 244 million again. So as you can see, did not jump that much. It jumped about 10 million, and hopefully at this time it should be jumping 20 millions at a time approximately. But they're not jumping 20 million incremental. They're only jumping 10 million. Hopefully they will drop 20 million. But before we get started, email me hyper_links@yahoo.com for any game prediction or request. Please email me for that. And you want to learn my system? It goes from part 1 Dster system, reverse Dster system, up to the red number system and the pentagon system. And donate, subscribe, share, and like my video. And follow the Invincible number chart. Please follow the Invincible number chart. That's key, hitting that jackpot. And remember that nothing is guaranteed. Now, keep sending me those winning tickets. I'll be posting winning tickets. When you send me those winning tickets, I know how well you did. So please send me those winning tickets. And the 61, last night 61 wasn't a surprise because 61 had to catch up. 61 had to catch up. 61 catch up. So remember, I keep saying 61 was a code the other draw. The other day, I kept posting on a video that 61 was the code, and after that, that 61 that the code came, it did not stop. The next draw, it was 61 again. So, and then finally, it stopped it. Then last night, repeat the 61. So, that 61 code came 3 times in last 4 draws. Remember, I said 61. The code was 61. The code was 61. It finally came last night. Last night, the code was 61 and 65. So, again, 61 was 65 was the code. And the number that came was 7, 33, 53, 61, and 65. They have 3 high numbers, 2 low numbers. And you can see what was the advantage last night, or matrix. So let's look at the breakdown of last night's draw. They didn't skip the first Invincible number. They did not. We know that they cannot afford to skip the first Invincible number for tonight's game as well. For Powerball drawing, they cannot afford to skip the first Invincible. They pull all high number. You see why the advantage is all odd numbers. If you look at the breakdown of last night's game, let's look at the breakdown. We know the code could have been 61, and even though 65 was non-playable, 61 seemed to have a lot of skip, because after 61 came, it did not stop. It had 61 came again, so 61 had a lottery skip. So when something has lottery skips, you cannot afford to rule it out, because that number might arc and might come again because of the lottery skips pattern. And that 61 was the code for last night's games. And as you can see, 07 was the first Invincible number. For those of you who had the list for last night's game, 07 was the first Invincible number, no doubt. And by playing most of the first Invincible numbers, you would have caught the first one. And again, we have 7, 33, 53, 61, and then 65 is all odd number. So they threw in all odd numbers last draw. And not only that, 14 was the Mega Ball Invincible number. If you have the Mega Ball Invincible chart, you know that 14 was a Mega Ball Invincible number, no doubt. And you know there's 2 low and 3 high number were drawn. So again, no advantage for using high, low numbers, but advantage would have been used. Sorry about tissues on the table. Sorry about tissue. The advantage was using all odd numbers for last night's draw. 7, 35, 33, 53, 61, 65. All odd numbers. That was the advantage. This was a breakdown. They pretty much skipped the second Invincible, third, fourth, fifth. Did not match. Why? Because didn't need to match the fifth Invincible. Fifth Invincible did not need to match. Sorry about that. Not need to match because the code was 6165. Since the code was 6165, the only spot that these two numbers could have been placed were on the fifth ball. So even though the other Invincible number didn't match, was neutral, the fifth Invincible did not need to be matched because 6165 could have been the fifth Invincible. Could have been the fifth. Would have been the fifth ball, and those two for last night draw are not the fifth Invincible number. So that's why when you know the code, you know which Invincible number not to touch. And fifth Invincible didn't need to be touched last night because the code was 61 and 65. Now, thanks for sending me those winning ticket. Let's show the winning ticket. Line 1 for last night's draw. You can see the date on draw 12:01 at 20:55. 20:55. That's around 9 o'clock. The ticket was bought, and you can see the date that was bought. 12:01 for last night's draw. And you can see last night's draw. This should have been last night's ticket because the date was on top. And for Florida, also holding most states besides Florida, holding 40 something other states. And you can see line 1, 3, 11, 25, 30, 49, 20, and then 1, 5, 11, 26, 36, 3, 10, 21, 27, 35, and line D was the crucial one that hit because why? 7, he matched the 7, first Invincible, 31. If that 31 was a 33, if that 33 was a 31, he would have matched another one. So that was 31 was 1 below 33, 1 odd below 33. And you can see why he matched all that. Line C, line D had all odd numbers, including the Mega Ball. And and that's why he got advantage because he played it all odd matrix. You can see 9-1 is about 1 even number. 9-2, 2 even. 9-3, 1 even. 9D, no even. And line E, you can see 4 even. So by placing odd matrix, he was able to catch 3. It could be easily been 4 numbers. Why? Because that 33 was 1 below. That 31 was 1 below 33 odd. 1 odd below 33. And that 17 could easily been 14. And you can check that 14 was in the Mega Ball Invisibility. He played 14 for the Mega Ball Invisibility. He could easily caught 4 or 5 on this ticket. Not that hard to catch. When you focus on the right matrix. And let's look at the winning number using Dster number 1 for last night's Mega. And you can see 7, 33, 53, 61, and 65. And as you can see, let's erase this and put it onto Mega Man mode. And the ball surely was 14. And you can see where the winning numbers are in Dster number 1. Let's look at Dster number 1. See where the winning numbers are. Not that hard. And congratulations to that player. Continue to hit. Because jackpot's high, it's not that hard. So figure out the code and you would have hit. So 7, 31, 53, 61. Almost 5 number. If he had played a 65 instead of the 25. Remember, the 25, he had the right matrix because he had the right matrix on the 1 spot. That 25 should have been a 65. 25 should have been 65, no doubt, because 65 was code. Do not go against the code. 21, if you played a 65, easy 5 number match, because that 31 should have came instead of 33, and he would hit 5 number that easy. Not that hard. So he had the right matrix on one spot. If you can tell you had the right matrix on the one spot. And if you look at number 7 not in the Dster. Number 7 could be used in the blue box. 33 not in the Dster. 53 right on the bottom. 61 on the bottom also. 65 on the bottom also. Again, one corner has to be used more than once. So B3 and C3 had used more than once, and these are number 1. And then 14 for the mega ball, 14 on top. So what's the advantage of this? No number was used on the right quadrant. Right quadrant wasn't used. Now these number 2 for Mega Man. Let's look at these number 2 for the Mega Man. So again, using these number 2, we had a great advantage using these number 2. 7. Let's look at number 7. 7 is on the bottom. No doubt. It doesn't matter which 0 you use to create 7. Remember, for single numbers, you got to use a 0 to form a single number. You cannot just pick 7 in the board. It doesn't work that way. It did not work that way. And 33 on top. 33 is on top. So far, right quadrant hit. 53 is on the bottom. So again, a little bit diverse. 61 also on the bottom. And then 65 also on the bottom. So again, so far we have more than one quantity used. More than one quantity used for E3. And that's all. The only number not in the Dster is 14. So 14 could easily be in the blue box. It could have been in the blue box for a white number, and because you created 14 in the blue box for a white number, for a white ball, it might be used for a power ball also. That's how it works. You guys see if the breakdown has the 14 in the blue box. You guys look at that. And these number 2, these number 3. Now, let's look at these number 3. These number 3 is not that hard. These number 3 is a good ball. It's a good game. It's a good ball. These number 3. And the first number was 7. 7 is on the top now. You see how it changes. Each Dster changes where the numbers are. You can tell. So let's change that past winning number 7. So $33 on the bottom. Remember, this is the Powerball date for 24th to 31st. I'm showing you what happened if I used these before. So now 53 is on the bottom. 61 on top, on the bottom. 65 on top. And 14 could probably be used in the Dster. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 number in the Dster. So I got the new Dster now. Now let's go back to this week's Dster and see how well it does. So see how it does. And I don't think I saved the Dster because when I closed, my Dster wasn't saved. So because of that, I gotta redo the Dster for you. But I'm not gonna redo the Dster. I will not gonna redo the Dster. I might have to redo the Dster because the Dster for this week's Dster is not on the board. So I'm gonna have to redo this week's Dster again. So for last night's Dster, for 1, 2, and 3, they were all spread. They didn't do that bad either. They had most winning number in those Dster 1, 2, and 3. Now I'm gonna have to redo the Dster again because I did not save the vid. So let's redo the Dster again. For Dster number 1. Sorry, I dropped the coins to hold the video. Let's see if the screen gets blurred. There we go. Drop the coins to hold the video. So 2017, 3, 4, 7, 0, 8, 9, 5, 9, 0, 0, 5, 1, 3. And the last set, 1, 0, 0, 3, 0, 8, 7, 2, 1. 7, 2, 1. So I dropped the coin to hold the video. And if you look at Dster number 1 for this week, let's recapture where the winning numbers are. And I mentioned a lot of normal, a lot of high frequency number in Dster, like this one, the Dster 7. Remember I told you that about the Dster 7 in Dster number 1. Remember I mentioned the Dster 7, the number 7 in Dster number 1 last video? I think I mentioned that because Dster number 1 had high frequency number 7. You can see how many 7 appears a lot of times. You see I did. And you can see why it got drawn 7. Now 33 not in this Dster. It could be in the bottom of the blue box. Now 53 is over here also on the right quadrant. So 61 not here, and 65 not here. So, but the 14 is on top. So it's one of the time that one corner is not used more than once. And as you can see, I mentioned 7 in the high frequency. What happened if you use all high frequency number in multiple Dsters? Would it help draw the winning number out? So this is number 1. It shows that 7 had to be drawn because 7 was the obvious number in the Dster 770. So now if you look at Dster number 2 that I mentioned last video, Dster number 2 I mentioned last video. I have Dster number 2. So let's look at Dster number 2 on my last video. See where the numbers I posted are. So for Dster number 2, I had 2, 0, 5, 3, 7, and 6, 0, 3, 5, 1184. I had 6005253, and I have also 102 68 983 983 3. So this is Dster number 2. So if you use Dster number 2 for last week's draw, you can see where the winning numbers are. 7. 7 is not the obvious number in the Dster. 7 could be used in the blue box on top for Dster number 2. And then you have 33 on the bottom. 33 was on the bottom. Appears 3 times. So it was kind of obvious. 33 and 53 was kind of obvious. 53 also appears a lot. So the common factor was 53 was appearing a lot of times in the Dster. That 53 and 33, no wonder it came out. 61 and 65 on the bottom. So 61 and 65 on the bottom. So I don't want to use this 65, but I have to. Why? I have to use this 65. Sorry about that. Because I already have one coordinate used more than once. Why? Because I just wanted all coordinates, all winning numbers are picked from one section on the bottom. And I have 65. So 65. And I have 14. 14 is not in the Dster. 14 could be used in the blue box. So again, Dster number 2 didn't do that good because I only have 4 winning number inside the Dster. Now I'm going to show you one more Dster. Dster number 3, I did Dster number 3, and then I somehow got erased it. So I'm going to have to post Dster number 3 again for you guys. Dster number 3, it had 2065, 7, and then it had 355303 611 6111226, and it had 10511 308. So this is Dster number 3. And if you look at Dster number 3, the obvious number is also 53. 03 over here. 33 is a hot number to place in the Dster. 33, 53 on top. And 61 on the bottom, as well as 65 on top. I do 65 on top, so we have all number in one section. And I'll put 61 on the bottom. And then 14 not in the Dster. 14 cannot be used in the blue box. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4 number in the Dster. The only number not in the Dster is 33 and 65. So again, now if you use Dster number 4, because I did use Dster number 4 last night, was the main Dster of last night's draw. Dster number 4. And 61 was the arcing number. So you can see 61 was arcing number, had larger skips. I mentioned that the other day, last week. I mentioned that number last week. And Dster number 4 was main Dster 207 7 7. So again, 3 7 on top, and 3 5 9 4 4 7, and then on the bottom we have 6 2. You can see where the winning numbers are: 6 2 1 8 4 3, 8. And then on the bottom, we have 107. 107, 5, 7, 8, 9, 7, 9. 8, 9, 7, 9. So you can see using Dster number 4. I did put the Dster number 4 for last week also. You can see the 7 or on top. Even though 7 is not on the high frequency number, 7 also appears 2 times on the bottom and on the top. And you can see why it's why it's so important to pick the number with the highest frequency, with more than one frequency, because it do occur. So 7 can be on top, on bottom. And 33 is not in the Dster. 33 could be used in the blue box here. Over here, it would be used in the blue box. And 53 on top, no doubt. 61 over here. And then 65 over here. And then 14, magically 14 is here. So again, only number that was hard to put in the Dster was 33. And as you can see, why it's so important, all the numbers was on the left side of the quadrant. Left side on the quadrant. And as you can see, all odd numbers. And if you look at the matrix, 1, 2, 3, 4, all 4 rows is used on the left side. So, because that 61 had to be used, that 1 on the corner has to be used for 61. So again, 5 winning combination. That's why the winning ticket was at this in there. If there was 33, you probably could have put the 33 instead of the 31, but no 33. And as you can see, it was all odd matrix. So let's look at the odd numbers. We have 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 15, 17, 19. 19 is 8 number. 21, 23, 25, 27, 29, 35, 41, that's 15 numbers, 47, 49, 51, 53, 57, 59. That's 21 numbers already. And 61, 63, 65, 67. So with that being said, let's add the matrix. If you use all odd matrix on the left side of the quadrant, 25 odd numbers. So again, you're only playing around 25 numbers within 70 numbers for yesterday by using the odd numbers. That means there's 10 less odd numbers on the left side. So by using odd matrix, you would have and played on the left side of Dster, maybe wipe a couple of non-playable numbers. You easily caught 3 or 4 numbers from last night's Mega Million, because that's how many odd numbers on the left side. And as you can see, 7 had appeared 2 times on Dster number 4. And let's see where 33, not there, 53. 53 appears 1 time, only number that appear 1 time. So there's got to be one number that appears 1 time only, and numbers that appear more than 1 time, you want to diversify your frequency pick as well. 61 also appears 1 time, so 62 number appears 1 time. 65 also appears 1 time. So, and then 14 also appears 1 time. So the only number that appears more than 1 is 7. 7 appears more than once. Otherwise, that's it. So I'll review the result for Friday's draw and tonight's draw as we go along. So like the video. Please do donate, subscribe, share, like my video, and please do email me at hyper_links@yahoo.com. for any game prediction. And again, let's go back to the winning ticket. You have the right matrix. I'm surprised. Let's look at the 10 spot. The 10 spot and the 1 spot. Let's look at the 10 spot and the 1 spot. 10 spots are 0, 2, 3, 5, 6. The 1 spot are 7, 5, 1, 3, 1. That's a 1 spot. Now, if you look at the 1 spot and the 10 spot, 07 got both correct. 25, he got a 5 in the 1 spot correct. And the 10 spot was a 6 instead of a 2. So if you play the code, you play 65 and 25, you caught 2. Now let's look at the second number. He got the 1 spot correct. If he got the 10 spot correct. But he didn't get the 1 spot correct. If that was 33, you would hit that number also. Now 53, he got both 1s and 10 spot correct. 61, both 1 and the 10 spot correct. And 61 was the code for last draw, and somehow it had to catch up. It had to catch up somehow. Normally they don't throw a number to catch up like this, but for this, somehow for this number, they threw it on us.